Love from soul? Yeah, hearty beef stew is always good. But if you add a little bit of gochujang there, I dare say, you'll become the greatest of all time.
Today, we're gonna be making a one-pot beef stew. But this is not just any beef stew. We're gonna be making it with our favorite Korean condiment, gochujang. When the fat from the beef and all the good flavors from the vegetable meet our lovely gochujang, they create an amazing flavor. So if you wanna experience the ultimate taste of Korean stew, you should definitely give this a try. Trust me, you will absolutely love it. For this, you will need some beef, potato, zucchini, mushrooms, onion, tofu, garlic, and green onions. What? Too many ingredients? Don't worry about it. As long as you have some beef, onion, zucchini, and potato, it's gonna be still delicious. But if you're looking for the best gochujang stew of all time, then let's put a little bit more effort. Trust me, that little bit more effort and money will totally be worth it. By the way, we have all the instructions and a list of ingredients on our blog, aaronandclaire.com. So please visit here if you need a written recipe. Alright, let's start with the rice first. Here, some of you might say, Aaron, I'm not interested in cooking the rice. I just need the beef stew recipe. I knew you were gonna say that. But the thing is, Korean stew is supposed to be eaten with the rice. Remember, it tastes best when enjoyed with the warm, freshly cooked rice. And not only that, the water you get from rinsing the rice will work like a good soup stock. The starch in the rice water is gonna help thicken our stew and make it more delicious. So don't forget to save some for your stew. For information, we're gonna need about 6 cups. Alright, while the rice is cooking, let's prep our ingredients. First, cut 400 grams of beef into nice bite-sized pieces. I'm using chuck flap tail, but you could also use any cut of beef here. So just use what you have. That's the best. Or if there's a Korean supermarket near your house, get yourself some thinly sliced beef brisket called chadeolbagi. The beautiful fat from the beef brisket will make your stew 10 times better. Next, potatoes. Peel off the skin and cut them into bite-sized pieces. Normally, I would just use 2 potatoes, but Claire's favorite part of this dish is the potatoes. So I'm gonna use 3 this time. So just like me, if you have any specific ingredient you particularly love, try adjusting the ingredients and make your own version. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be more satisfied. Now the same thing goes for the zucchini. I'm gonna use about 300 grams. This gochujang stew is also called zucchini stew in Korea because it's more enjoyed during the summer when zucchinis are abundant and delicious. So if you're team zucchini, you can reduce the potatoes and add more zucchini. Like I said, you can totally adjust it to your preference. Don't worry about it. Everything will be fantastic. Once that's done, cut 1 large onion and 5 shiitake mushrooms into bite-sized pieces. What? There's no way to get this shiitake mushroom? Don't worry about it. Then try it with other mushrooms. Oyster, enoki, white button mushrooms, bring them all. Everything will turn out amazing. This time, tofu. Get yourself some foam tofu, which is about 300 grams, and cut that into nice little cubes. Then nice little tofu simmered in a spicy, flavorful stew. That's like the beauty of this dish. So even if you're not a big fan of tofu, I'm pretty sure you're gonna fall in love with this. Trust me, after trying this, you will never ever say, I hate tofu. If not, leave a comment. But there'll be nothing much I can do about it. That's your problem. Now smash 5 cloves of garlic and finely chop them. And then thinly slice 2 or 3 green onions. The whites are gonna be stir fried and the greens are gonna be used for garnish. So make sure to keep them separately, like this. Alright, the prep is almost done. All we have left to do is make some seasoning paste. But if you want to experience the truly authentic Korean taste, then slice 1 or 2 Cheongyang chili peppers. Aside from the spiciness from gochujang, you're gonna get some nice freshness and the extra kick from this bad boy. So it's gonna be super addicting. Now let's make the seasoning paste. In a small container, add 3 tablespoons of gochujang, Korean chili paste, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of fish sauce, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of Korean chili pepper flakes, 1 tablespoon of dajida, Korean beef stock powder, a few shakes of black pepper, and give it a good mix. FYI, it's usually seasoned with 새우젓, salted shrimp. But not everyone is gonna have access to it, so we're gonna go with fish sauce. What? You don't have fish sauce either? Then this oyster sauce is gonna work great in this recipe. What? You wanna know this kind of tip more and more? I'm so glad you brought that up, because everything you need is in this one book. Trust me, with this one book, you can cook more than 100 Korean dishes like a pro, so don't forget to check it out. The link is in the description. Finally, we're set. Let's get cooking. Add 1 tablespoon of oil in a pot and heat it over medium-high heat. Once it gets nice and hot, add in your beef and cook for about 6 minutes. What's really important here is that you don't put these bad boys in your mouth. I totally understand it's really hard to resist it and you wanna eat it with lettuce and samjang like a Korean barbecue. But if you could hang in there, you will get to see one of the most beautiful and delicious stews in the world. I promise. So please hang in there. Alright, once the fat has rendered out, reduce the heat to low, add the garlic, white parts of the green onions, the seasoning paste, and saute those for about 2 to 3 minutes. When the beautiful fat from the beef and all the aromatics meet our lovely gochujang, trust me, they will taste like heaven. Actually, you can't just skip this step and throw everything in a pot and bring it to a boil. But this process is not only gonna help deepen its flavor, it's also gonna make beautiful chili oil that you're always looking for. And that will make absolutely gorgeous gochujang stew at the end. Once you can see some chili oil here and there, add 6 cups of rice water and bring it to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, add the onions, potatoes, and mushrooms. And we're just gonna boil it for about 12 minutes over medium-high heat. When the potatoes are cooked, reduce the heat to medium. And then add the tofu, zucchini, chili pepper, and boil it for another 10 minutes. Once this guy is cooked for 10 minutes and the zucchini gets tender, give it a quick taste and add some salt to taste. That's it. Couldn't be any easier, right? For information, just like any other soup or stew, the longer you boil it, the better it's going to be. So if you just stop here and reheat it the next day, trust me, it's gonna taste like 200 times better. But my hungry bird at home can't wait that long. I can already hear her saying, "I'm starving!" So let's finish it off with some red chilies and green onions. Don't worry about it. I made this recipe for the people who cook this on a busy weeknight. So it's gonna be fantastic by now. Alright, the stew is all done. How does it look? It looks gorgeous, right? You wanna know how it tastes? Alright, let's go to our taste tester. Claire?
와, 오늘은 양이 어마무시하게 많아가지고 비주얼이 완전 압도적이다. 나 혼자 다 먹으라는 건 아니겠지? But I think I need 2 bowls of rice. Let's give it a try. Oh my god. 위에 고추기름까지 이렇게 샥 깔려있는 게 너무 맛있어 보인다. Let's scoop out some gochujang stew. Looks crazy. Makes me so hungry. 뭐니 해도 국물부터. Whoa, so good. 미쳤네. 빨리 먹어야겠어. 후다후다 좀 먹어볼게. 와, 진짜 대박이다. 소고기 너무 부드러워서 샤라라라 그냥 녹는다. 진짜 예술이네. 너무 맛있어. 이게 그냥 영어로 스파이시라고만 표현하기에 너무 부족한 맛 표현이야. 정말 매콤하지만 되게 복잡한 그런 맛이 샥 느껴져. 먹는 순간. 몰라, 아무튼 엄청 맛있다. 이거 안 먹어봤으면 you're missing out on one of the greatest things in the world. Yes, I know I sound very overacting, but it is that good. 와우, 갑자기 너무 신나가지고 땀이 났어. 너무 맛있다. 이제 실컷 밥이랑 한번 먹어볼까요? 이렇게 밥 위에다가 흰 밥 위에 내가 잔뜩 올려가지고 먹으면 얼마나 맛있는데. Cheers! 내가 제일 좋아하는 감자를 못 먹고 있었네. 찌개에는 이렇게 탁 익은 감자가 빠지면 안 되지. 끝장이다. 너무 맛있다. 왜 이렇게 아저씨 같은 소리가 나나 몰라. 이런 음식 먹으면. 너무 맛있다. 이 고추장 찌개 먹는데 그거 안 먹을 순 없잖아. 그거 가져와봐. That is soju. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of soju, but I really wanted to try with this gochujang jjigae. Cheers. Ooh. Ooh. It instantly calls for gochujang jjigae. 와우. 왜 같이 먹는지 알겠네. 맛있다. 자기도 가져와. 한잔 하자. 한잔 합시다. Hope you guys enjoy.
Hello from Seoul? You really think ramen is the thing only restaurants can make? Really? But what if I say you can make that proper bowl of ramen in 15 minutes? Don't worry about it. I'm not talking about that kind of instant ramen today. I'm talking about real Japanese miso ramen. Alright, are you guys ready? Let's get started.
First of all, let's start with chashu, soy sauce braised pork belly. Now some of you might say, what? Chashu within 15 minutes? Are you sure about that? Don't worry about it. If you follow my lead, you can make it happen. For this, you will need pork belly. That's it. But if you could add some garlic and ginger, that's gonna be more awesome. And here, make sure to get this kind of thinly sliced pork so it can cook faster. If you didn't take my advice and it took more than 30 minutes only for chashu, I'm not responsible. For the sauce, put 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, half a tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of mirin, half a tablespoon of sugar, half a tablespoon of corn syrup, a quarter teaspoon of dark soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, half a teaspoon of grated ginger, 2 tablespoons of water, and give it a good mix. Pretty simple, right? But if you want to get that restaurant taste, then bring this bad boy over here and add a generous pinch of MSG. Now get your pan on a medium heat and add half a tablespoon of cooking oil. Once it gets nice and hot, add 180 grams of thinly sliced pork belly. This way, we can dramatically reduce the cooking time compared to the traditional recipe. Remember, our greatest enemy in this episode is a time-consuming process and a lot of dishes to wash. Once it's cooked through, pour the sauce we made and just cook it for 3 minutes. That's it. And if you want that smoky flavor, then take out your blowtorch or sear jar. Well, it's not necessary, but it will make you look super cool. This time, let's make soft boiled eggs, one of the most important toppings for Japanese ramen. Fill a pot with 6 cups of water and bring it to a gentle boil. Now place your 5 eggs and boil without a lid for 7 minutes. When time's up, take them out and immediately drop them into ice water. That's it. It's way easier than you think, right? For information, if you really want to get things done within 15 minutes, you gotta cook the eggs and chashu simultaneously. Otherwise, it's gonna take forever. Maybe next year. Now some of you might want to say, Aaron, I want to get the beautiful brown color ramen eggs like the one from restaurants. Sorry about that, my friend. It's impossible to do that within 15 minutes. But don't worry about it. Have I ever let you down? With a little bit of a trick, we can make it happen. In a small mixing bowl, put 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce and a generous pinch of sugar. And then add in your eggs and just mix them around. That's it. Of course, it's gonna taste different from the authentic one, but trust me, nobody would know just by looking at it. Alright, our main toppings are done. Let's make our ramen broth. For this, you will need miso, green onion, and ground pork. That's it. It's way simpler than you think, right? But the taste? Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fantastic. First, let's chop some green onion. I'm gonna use the white part for broth and the green part for garnish. so make sure to include both parts and set them aside. Next, in a large mixing bowl, combine 4 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder, and 1 teaspoon of hondashi. These two bad boys will make it possible to make ramen within 15 minutes. Yeah, that will make your life a lot easier. Now, into a wok, add 1.5 tablespoons of lard and heat it over medium heat. And then add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, half a teaspoon of grated ginger, 30 grams of chopped green onions, and give it a few stirs. Once you can smell the amazing aroma, add 150 grams of ground pork, a quarter teaspoon of white pepper, and stir fry for 3 minutes. And here, make sure to break it up so that they don't clump together. When the pork is cooked through, reduce it down to a low heat and add 1 tablespoon of mirin, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 4 tablespoons of miso, and 1 teaspoon of Chinese chili bean paste. Now, you're just gonna mix this in together for about 2 minutes. Here, you're not stir frying it with big fire. Just gently mix it. Please don't be a chef in Thai or Chinese restaurants. Once everything is well incorporated, add in the stock and put it on a gentle heat. The broth doesn't have to boil or simmer, just get it warm. That's the key. Now bring a spoon and give it a quick taste. And add a pinch of salt if it's necessary, but mine is perfect. Once that's done, cover it the lid and keep it warm until ready to use. Next, let's stir fry some mung bean sprouts for the toppings. Put 1 tablespoon of lard in a pan and heat it over high heat. Once it gets nice and hot, add in some mung bean sprouts and quickly stir fry them for less than a minute. Here, of course you could just blanch it in hot water, but if you stir fry this with some lard like this, it's gonna be amazingly flavorful. Alright, last but not least, let's cook the noodles. Depending on the brands, the cooking time can be slightly different, so make sure to cook the noodles according to the package instructions. Once that's done, get yourself a bowl and add in your cooked noodles. And try to spread the noodles as wide as you can, so you can place your toppings for a beautiful presentation. Otherwise, you might have to watch helplessly as your toppings sink down to the bottom, and then gently add your broth. After that, top it off with some chashu, soft boiled eggs, mung bean sprouts, corns, green onions, and dried seaweed. That's it! Can you believe it took only 15 minutes to make? I don't think so. Alright, let's see how it tastes.
Claire,
아주 논란거리가 되겠군. 자기처럼 손 빠른 사람이야 되겠지만 나처럼 손이 느린 사람은 1시간 걸린다고. 어쨌든 비주얼은 훌륭하군. I like the presentation. 토핑 진짜 많은 거 봐봐. 우와. Ready. 맛있네. 되게 감칠맛 있고, 부드럽고 너무 맛있는데? 미소에서 나오는 그 은은한 향이 있네. 맛있어. 본격적으로 시작해볼까? Ready? 와, 제대로네. 와, 너무 맛있어. 와, 그냥 면 자체는 되게 부드러운데 숙주가 되게 아삭아삭하잖아. 그래서 같이 먹는 순간 그 부드러움과 아삭함이 동시에 막 폭발한다, 입에서. 너무 맛있는데? I love how glistening it is. 근데 이거 안 잘라줘도 되는 거야? 내가 이렇게 베어 먹는 거야? 원래 이래? 양념 기가 막히네. 분량이 샥 나고 그다음 간장이 샥 스쳐 지나가는데 너무 맛있는데? 이건 그냥 토핑이라고 하기엔 너무 아까운 그런 애인데? 엄청 공이 많이 들어간 애 같아. 너무 맛있어. 심지어 이 강고기랑 옥수수가 입에서 막 터지는 것도 그것도 진짜 예술이야. 와, 이걸 또 놓칠 수 없지. I can't miss the egg, always. 그럴듯하게 잘 삶았군. You can't go wrong with this, right? 와, 너무 맛있어. 너무 부드럽다. 그냥 입에서 샥 녹는다. 예술이야. I like it a lot. But I have one complaint about this. 내가 지난번에도 말했단 말이야. 이게 뭐냐고 이게. 나무 젓가락이랑 라멘집 스푼이 있어야 될 거 아니야. 최대한 오센틱하게 하란 말이야. 쇼핑 리스트에다 적어. 솔직히 저번에 탄탄면 너무 맛있어가지고 그거 못 이길 줄 알았는데 거의 막상막하다. 너무 맛있는데? 이제 이것도 자주 해줘.
hello from Seoul. We've done so many kinds of soups or stews on this channel, and I know you think they're all great. Yeah, I knew it. But today, we're making the king of Korean stews.
Today, we're gonna be making Doenjang Jjigae. But it's not just ordinary soybean paste stew. We're gonna make chadol Doenjang Jjigae, which is a superstar in Doenjang Jjigae world. When the fat from the beef brisket meets our lovely soybean paste, they create an amazing flavor. So if you don't wanna live with regret, please give this a try. You won't regret it. For this, you will need some chadolbagi, Korean radish, potato, zucchini, onion, mushroom, green onion, tofu, chilies, and garlic. What? It requires a lot of ingredients, so you're kind of overwhelmed? Don't worry about it. As long as you have beef brisket, potato, onion, and green onion, you can still make it. But what you want is another level of deliciousness, right? Then go to the supermarket and try to get all of them. Trust me, once you try, you will never ever order Doenjang Jjigae from restaurants because yours will be more delicious. Alright, before we prep our vegetables, let's talk about this chadolbagi first. As you can see, it's thinly sliced beef brisket. But unless you go to a Korean supermarket, it can be a little difficult to get this one. But don't worry about it. You can just use other cuts of beef and cut it into bite-sized pieces. But remember, the fat from the meat will take it to the next level. Now let's prep our vegetables. First, cut 60 grams of Korean radish into nice bite-sized pieces. Radish takes a while to cook, so if you cut it into thin slices like this, that will cut down your cooking time. Here, some of you might say, Aaron, I can't get that Korean radish. What should I do? Then just go with potatoes. Of course, you have to sacrifice the refreshing flavor, but the starch from the potato will still make it delicious. And then the same thing goes for the potato. I'm gonna use half of a Yukon Gold potato. What? You can't get a potato? Well, it sounds impossible, but let's say you can't. Then just simply replace it with Korean radish. Problem solved, right? Now take a zucchini and cut it into large chunks because when it goes into the stew, it quickly loses its beautiful color and texture. So I recommend cutting that into nice big chunks. Once that's done, cut half an onion into nice bite-sized pieces. The soybean paste is a little bit bitter in itself, but the natural sweetness of the onion will balance out the flavor. So if you skip it, you may miss out on the chance to have the best Doenjang Jjigae. So please do not skip it. This time, cut 2 shiitake mushrooms into bite-sized pieces. Besides this shiitake, you could also use other mushrooms, but we normally don't use white button mushrooms in Doenjang Jjigae. So except that bad boy, try it in many different ways. Oyster, king oyster, gnocchi, everything will be fantastic. Now it's time for our love, green onion. Today, we're not gonna infuse our oil with green onion. We're just gonna dump this guy into a pot and bring it to a boil. So you can just roughly chop them. And then get yourself some foam tofu and cut it into cubes. Depending on your preference, you can go bigger or smaller, but today, I'm gonna cut that into nice little cubes. This time, thinly slice 1 spicy green chili. Beef brisket has a lot of fat, so it could make the broth a little bit greasy. But the spicy kick from this chili will cut a lot of the greasy feeling and make it more addictive and delicious. And then slice some red chili for garnish. This is mainly for color, so unless you're cooking it for your date night dinner, you can totally skip it. No problem at all. Lastly, take 2 cloves of garlic and finely chop them. Alright, before we start cooking, let's make our soup stock. When I say soup stock, many of you may think chicken stock or beef stock, but we're gonna use this stuff right here. It's the water that you get from rinsing the rice, and we normally use the third wash for our soup or stew because it really helps thicken the stew. Here, some of you might say, Aaron, I'm not gonna eat rice, so I can't get it. Come on, Korean soup or stew is not an appetizer. It's more like a main dish that you enjoy with rice. So make sure you cook rice and save some for your stew. Alright, everything is all set. Let's get cooking. In a wok or pot, add half a teaspoon of oil and heat it over medium-high heat. Once it's heated, add 120 grams of beef brisket and cook for 1 to 2 minutes. Once the beef is cooked and you've got enough fat, add 4 cups of rice water, radish, potato, potato, and chopped garlic. Keep adding 6 tablespoons of doenjang, Korean soybean paste, 1 tablespoon of Korean chili pepper flakes, half a tablespoon of dashida, Korean beef stock powder, and bring it to a boil. Here, make sure you give it a good stir so that all the doenjang is melted into the broth. By the way, we have all the instructions and a list of ingredients on our blog, aaronandclaire.com. So please visit here if you need a written recipe. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. Let's add our zucchini, onion, shiitake mushrooms, and let it continue to boil for about 7 to 10 minutes. I know it sounds like a long time to cook, especially during hot summer, but trust me, it'll be worth it in the end. Now some of you might ask, Aaron, are you sure we don't need to put any salt or soy sauce? Good question. For doenjang jjigae, we don't need any seasoning but doenjang. Don't worry about it. Our superhero doenjang will give you the salty, savory, umami flavor that you're looking for. So if it's a little bland, add more doenjang, and if it's a little too salty, add more water. That's it. So simple, right? Once it tastes perfect to you, throw in our green onions, tofu, chilies, and boil for 2 more minutes. Alright, it's ready to go. Let's plate this up. Just like any other Korean stew, I'm gonna serve it in a tukbaegi. What? No tukbaegi in your house? That's okay. You can just serve it in a bowl or add it to a smaller pot. Now all we have left is bring it to a boil one more time and garnish it with some more chilies. Since it's so hot and bubbling, it looks super appetizing, right? Alright, let's call our taste tester.
Claire?
와, 된장찌개? Oh my god. This is my all-time favorite comfort food. My mom used to make this almost every day with love. So let's see how much love Aaron put in here. Let's give it a try. Still bubbling. Looks super appetizing. 일단 국물 먼저. Cheers. I'm not ready yet. It's super hot. Oh, oh my god. I didn't know Aaron loves me this much. 맛있다. 엄청 진하네. 오. 이제 좀 본격적으로 팍팍팍팍 먹어볼게 일단. 말은 아끼고. Nice and hearty. So good. It's insanely good. 왜 그냥 물에 된장이랑 마늘만 넣고 끓여도 맛있다고 하잖아. 근데 거기에다가 차돌박이에서 오는 약간 그 고기의 향과 고춧가루에서 오는 약간의 그 칼칼함이 만나서 너무 맛있어. So good. It's so nice and comforting. 하루 끝나고 이거 먹으면 진짜 힘들었던 하루가 싹 그냥 뭐 잊혀질 것 같아. 그냥 보상받는 그런 느낌? 와우. Still super hot. But this is the vibe. 평상시 때는 우리가 잘 차돌박이를 넣어서 많이 안 끓여 먹잖아. 그래서 그런지 더 특별하게 느껴지면서 맛있는 것 같아. 방심하면 안 돼. 계속 불어서 먹어야 돼. 나는 된장찌개는 이렇게 재료가 푸짐해야 맛있다고 생각을 하는데 그런 의미에서 고깃집에서 먹는 된장찌개랑은 차원이 달라. 와, 한 1000배? 더 맛있어. Surprisingly, there is no specialized 된장찌개 restaurant in Korea, and I think it's because everybody has their own unique 된장찌개 recipe, and I think they think theirs is the best. As you guys know, I'm not good at cooking, but this 된장찌개 is really hard to mess up. Even I never fail. So don't be afraid and give this a try. You're gonna love it. Enjoy!
Hello from Seoul? Yes, making ramen looks quite complicated, but not every ramen needs to be complicated. I mean, if you have just 15 minutes, you can make the perfect bowl of ramen. But don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about instant ramen. I'm talking about a proper bowl of Japanese ramen. So if you ever wanted to make ramen at any point in your life, it's time to give it a shot. Alright, are you guys ready? Let's get started.
Today we are making Shoyu Ramen, one of the most delicious Japanese ramens. Compared to tonkotsu ramen, which takes a long time to cook, this is such a simple ramen that you can try at home. The taste? Don't worry about it. Once you try this recipe, you don't go to a ramen restaurant anymore. For this, you will need ramen, green onion, ginger, pork belly, and some eggs. Actually, I wanted to share the 5-minute version, but without chashu and soft boiled eggs, we can't call it ramen, right? So let's just invest 10 more minutes. You won't regret it. I promise. First of all, let's make some soft boiled eggs. Don't worry, as always, it's gonna be so easy. Fill your pot with 6 cups of water and bring it to a boil. Once it starts to boil, reduce the heat to low and gently lower 6 large eggs. Once you place them all in, give it a few stirs so that we can keep the yolks centered. Now we're gonna cook these for 7 minutes, and when time's up, shock them in ice water and wait until they've cooled down. Otherwise, it's gonna continue to cook and you never get the beautifully cooked soft boiled eggs. This is very important. This time, let's make some chashu. If you skip this step, it's gonna be way simpler and easier. But you don't wanna miss this beautiful thing, right? That's why I brought this super simple version. You're welcome. First, let's make the sauce. In a small container, add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, half a tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of mirin, half a tablespoon of sugar, half a tablespoon of corn syrup, a quarter teaspoon of dark soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, half a teaspoon of grated ginger, 2 tablespoons of water, and mix it. So simple, right? But you wanna make it taste good like the one from restaurants? Then bring that bad boy over here. Totally optional, but let me add a pinch because this bad boy makes everything taste better. Now get your pan over medium heat. Once it gets nice and hot, add half a tablespoon of cooking oil and place some pork belly. Once they turn a beautiful golden brown on both sides, pour the sauce you made and gently simmer for another 3 minutes over medium-low heat. What? You wanna get that smoky charred flavor? Then take out your blowtorch or scissor. Trust me, this will take it to the next level. This time, we're gonna make some aromatic oil. Shoyu ramen without aromatic oil? It's like Thanksgiving without turkey. Yes, it's that important. So don't you ever skip this step. First, chop some green onions into small pieces. As always, more green onion, more delicious. So be super generous with this. Next, grab a small knob of ginger and finely chop it. I wanna say like, if you don't have a ginger, you can't skip it. But this bad boy will give a delightful fragrance to your ramen. Now get yourself a small pan or saucepan. Add 5 tablespoons of lard and heat it over medium-low heat. Here, some people might say, Aaron, I don't have that lard. What should I do? That's okay. You can't just use vegetable oil. I wouldn't say that's the best, but our love, green onion, will take care of everything. So don't worry about it. Once the lard is melted, nice and hot, add 40 grams of green onions and ginger. What? What about the rest of the green onions? Good question. We're gonna use them for garnish, so don't worry about it. After 3 to 4 minutes, remove it from the heat and strain out your ginger and green onions. And there you have it, your super simple aromatic oil. Now let's make tare. In a small container, add 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, half a teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of mirin, a generous pinch of MSG, and give that a good mix. Couldn't be any easier, right? This is why I said it only takes minutes. Last but not least, let's make some broth. Normally, we're supposed to make chicken stock and mix it with some dashi broth. But we're not opening a restaurant. We just want to casually enjoy a nice bowl of ramen at home, right? If this is you, combine 4 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder, 1.5 teaspoon of hondashi, and mix it. Trust me, this is gonna be enough. Maybe it's better. What? You can't trust me? Then let's see what happens to our taste tester in a minute. Once it's well combined, put it on a gentle heat. Here, you don't want to boil or simmer. You just want to get it warm. That's it. While that's going, let's prep the noodles. Add your noodles to boiling water and cook according to the package instructions. What? You can't get this kind of ramen noodles? Don't worry about it. You could also use other noodles. Even instant ramen noodles will be fine. No problem at all. Once they're cooked through, take them out and shake off the excess water. Here, make sure to get rid of as much moisture as possible so that it doesn't affect the taste of the broth. That's why people in ramen restaurants always shake off their noodles like a drummer. Now get yourself a bowl and let's start off with the tare. Since everyone's tastes are a little different, let's start with 1 tablespoon. Keep adding 1 tablespoon of aromatic oil along with half of the broth and stir everything together. And then give it a little taste and add more tare if you need. Once it tastes perfect to you, add your drained noodles. Here, if you lift it up a few times and kind of lay it down like this, your ramen will look more gorgeous. And people will think you're a ramen master or something. Pretty good tip, right? Once that's done, top it off with some chashu, green onions, soft boiled eggs, and some sliced fish cakes, which are totally optional. Last but not least, add some dried seaweed. That's it. It's incredibly easy, right? For information, I just showed you the basic toppings for Shoyu Ramen. But if there's anything you wanna add in, go ahead and use it and make your own style. That'll be more fantastic. Alright, let's call our taste tester.
Claire?
Shoyu means soy sauce. So it's basically soy sauce based ramen. Do I know some Japanese? No. I only know arigatou gozaimasu. So, arigatou gozaimasu. Let me taste it. 호비야, 이거 엄마 거야. 미안해. I'm sorry. 그래, 인사만 해. 알았어. 잠깐만 인사하자. 인사해. 아니, 그거 말고. 자, 인사. 바이바이. Bye-bye. Let's try the broth first. Ready? 맛있는데? 확실히 국물이 돈코츠 라면이나 탄탄면, 미소 라면 이런 다른 라면에 비해서 훨씬 더 담백하네. 깔끔하다. 그리고 이 오일에서 오는 그 향이 너무 좋아. 뭔지 모르겠는데 너무 좋아. 사실 솔직히 말하면 소유라면 그 간장 맛이 너무 진해서 솔직히 나한테 조금 짠 느낌이 있었거든. 근데 요거는 지금 딱 내 입맛에 맞다. 안 짜고 맛있는데? 이거는 근데 뼈를 오랜 시간 우려가지고 내는 그런 육수가 아니니까 온전히 육수 자체가 간장에서 좌우가 되는 거잖아. 간장은 좋은 걸 써야겠네. 비싼 걸 써야겠네. 야? This is the key. 맛있다 이거. 계속 국물만 먹게 되네. 빨리 먹어야겠다. 딴 거. Ready! 국물이랑 면이랑 따로 놀지 않고 되게 맛있다. 면이 육수의 그 향긋함을 온전히 흡수해가지고 너무 맛있는데 부들부들 좋다. Ready? 면의 그 부드러움에 대파의 그 향긋함과 아삭함 들어가니까 진짜 왜 대파를 좋아하는지 왜 그렇게 대파를 찬양하는지 알 것 같아. This time, let's try one of the beauties of ramen, chashu. 촉촉하게 한 번 더 육수에 간다. 확실히 크게 한 입 가득 먹으니까 좀 만족스럽긴 하다. 훨씬 맛있다. 아니 이게 뭐야? 이게 뭐 이름은 모르겠는데 이게 너무 귀여운 거 아니야? 볼에다 딱 놓으면 볼터치한 것 같은 느낌? 그렇지 않아?
삐에로 같은데.
삐에로? 먹어보겠어. Let's try. 쫄깃쫄깃. 재밌네. 맛있네. You know what? I've been waiting for this. The soft boiled. Let's see. So beautiful as usual. Ready? 너무 좋아. 진짜 완벽하게 잘 됐다. 소개가 진짜 잼이 약간 러니하면서 크리미하면서 너무 맛있어. 아무튼 진짜 나한테는 간이 퍼펙트해서 일단 너무 좋네. 오늘은 물 많이 안 마셔도 되겠어. 땡큐. 아리가또 고자이마스.